Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today's plan seemed simple. Take the UI tool we built last time and apply it to my Subtitle editor. In my experience, swapping out a UI is usually a breeze. If you design it right, it saves you a ton of work later. But man, things did not go as planned. It was so chaotic and weird that I actually forgot to hit the screen recorder for a bit. Here's the deal. I drew a rough sketch of the interface in HTML and handed it over to the AI. Anti-gravity. To redesign it, my original design was, let's just say, not great. I wanted the buttons to have actual hover states. And I decided to simplify things by changing the start and end time adjustments from buttons to a draggable slider. I also caved and added some features I originally tried to simplify away. Line jumping and text editing. After using my own tool, I realized that clicking next 100 times just to get to a specific line was annoying. Plus, sometimes the AI splits sentences in a way I just don't like. So I need to be able to fix the text manually. When the AI finished, it told me the new features were done and the UI was ready. And wow, I have to confess, my sense of aesthetics is terrible because the new UI looks way better. It's more of a widescreen, desktop style now, but the button groupings feel much more natural to use. Switching the interface turned out to be a massive headache. My philosophy in software engineering has always been, if it works, use it, even if that means crossing platforms or jumping into different domains. But this situation? It felt like I was writing a standalone program in C, only to have it suddenly transform into a server-based web version. Luckily, I've got a versatile background and know how to handle both, so I could roll with the punches. Originally, the project used Tkinter. That's a classic standalone setup where you're manually calculating coordinates and drawing everything yourself. I honestly thought that moving to an HTML interface would be like putting a shell around the code. I don't know if anyone still remembers the mHTML format or EPUBs for ebooks. But I've worked with them before. They're basically just HTML files bundled up in a container. I figured this would be just as simple. But as I found out, the modern WebView approach is a whole different beast. The AI decided to go full modern and used PyWebView, which basically turns the app into a local web server. Since AI is trained on massive amounts of web data, it naturally leans toward this architecture. It looks beautiful, but getting it to run on my machine was a nightmare. I tried setting up a virtual environment and checking the requirements.txt. First, I needed Pygame from the old version, but then I hit a wall with WebView. The system kept nagging me to install GTK, but I refused. I wanted to know exactly how the AI got it running without all that bloat. After digging through the AI's project files, I saw mentions of PyQt5 and PyQt6. I ran into constant version conflicts and missing plugins. I tried every pip parameter I knew to force the old packages to work, but no luck. Finally, I found the magic keyword, PyWebView, Qt. Installing that specific package grabbed all the right dependencies at once. And the project finally opened. Let's talk about the trade-off here. The old Tkinter version of my project was a tiny 88K. This new enhanced version? 500 megabytes. If you count the full virtual environment with both PyQt5 and PyQt6, it balloons to 1 gigabyte. For web devs, space is cheap, but as someone who values efficiency, that jump from 88K to 500 megabytes is wild. It's a good reminder, the more stuff you pile into an app, the higher the chance for lag and bugs. It's like your downloads folder. If you let it get too full, even just looking at a file name takes forever. Anyway, after a lot of painful testing, I finally have a working, beautiful interface. That's all for this one. I'll see you in the next video.